Republicans are playing a long game. They have been doing so for a very long time. If you are a fan of Star Wars or science fiction in general, and you watch Star Wars, particularly episodes 1, 2, and 3, they're best compared to the long game that Senator Palpatine played to usher in the era of the Sith. Very patient, very meticulous, willing to suffer anything that they have to suffer in order to get to their final goal. And we are living in the midst of the implementation, the commencement of their end game with regard to abortion. Now, Missouri, in addition to Alabama and Georgia, have passed these draconian abortion laws that ban abortion in almost all cases. Alabama now has banned abortion even in the case of rape and incest. This is, and everyone is a little shocked. Now, I don't want to go on a I told you so tour, but I told everybody, and we try to warn that this election of Donald Trump was going to bring an end to Roe versus Wade. And these Republican legislatures waited until they got, I mean, come on, these legislatures across the country have long been controlled by Republicans. And so they waited until they got Kavanaugh on the bench to execute this strategy. They got him on the bench, and now they've placed this strategically too soon for the Supreme Court to rule on before the 2020 election, but soon enough for the outrage to settle down before the 2020 election. Because they fully believe, no matter what, actually, no matter what, their goal is to try to, they're going to try their best to not let this hurt Donald Trump in the election, but they don't really care ultimately, because no matter who wins, so long as that case goes to the Supreme Court, they've got the majority they need to get what they want done. But the most ideal outcome for their strategy is for this not to hurt Donald Trump, that he gets reelected, and then it goes to the Supreme Court to get the overturn of Roe versus Wade. That's the strategy. That's been the long game. They've been working on this for some time. And I guess people are surprised. People are taken aback by this. I don't know why you would be surprised by this. The question is, what do we do? Well, we progressives and liberals alike, we have been behind the 8 ball on almost every major issue, mainly because we don't have the infrastructure that Republicans have to play this long game. They have been working on this since Roe versus Wade passed. I have 2 dates in my head right now, 64 and 72. That's a big gap, but one of those years, I believe, was the year Roe versus Wade was passed. I'll Google it later. But the point is, they've been working on this ever since then. And it has taken this long to get a conservative majority on the court. Do you realize that? And the reason I put so much emphasis there is because how long do you think it's going to take? How long do you think it's going to take to get balance back in the court, or to get a progressive majority to reinstitute Roe versus Wade? They've been working on this for damn near 50 years. I said in this last election that it's going to take a generation to undo some of the shit that Donald Trump is getting ready to do. And here we are. We're literally at that point. It is going to take, once they get overturned Roe versus Wade. So what do we do? Okay, there's really only one thing to do, because there's really no strategy. There's no strategy to stop this from going to the Supreme Court and them ruling against it. There's only one thing that we can do, and that is to pack the courts. It has been done before. It can be done again. It didn't go to the extent that they wanted previously, or the attempt has been made before. Let me correct myself. We have to pack the courts. You could pack the courts and try to bring balance if you want. I don't care. You could pack the courts and give it a progressive majority. We have to win the Senate, obviously, to make that happen. But the attitude and the disposition of all of our candidates has to be such that they are going to be radical enough to fight dirty, like David Paris said in his book, and pack these courts, because we can't afford to wait an entire generation to try to get a progressive majority on the court. Period. End the conversation. That's it. Other thing I want to talk about in this update, Elizabeth Warren has refused to go on Fox News. I commend her for that. A lot of people saying, oh, it's the biggest news source in America, so she should go. Yeah, but we all know what Fox News is. Come on, everybody. You know what Fox News is. They know what Fox News knows what Fox News is. Fox News viewers know what it is. I don't care how many Democrats are there. The fact of the matter is Fox News is white grievance media. It has been, it always has been that. It is white grievance media, and it is there for no other reason than to give people who want to remain comfortable in their whiteness, and not just their whiteness, but in their culture of white supremacy, their culture of everything that you see happening, right? Let's set race aside, because race is the easy thing to see. But the culture that's leading to the overturn of Roe versus Wade is riding on the back of Fox News, ladies and gentlemen, right? It's all one and the same. The culture that is getting ready to take us to war in Iran, which I have to talk about, it's riding on the back of Fox News. Fox News is the propaganda arm. Fox News is not going to allow one forum, one town hall is not going to overturn Fox News and what it is. And so for me, it makes more sense to take a principled stand to not participate in an organization, in a news company that is the propaganda arm of white supremacy and American imperialism and capitalism. That's all I have to say about that. All right, shit's getting real out here, and it's time for us to act accordingly. Thanks for being a patron. Stuff is coming out. Stuff is coming out. I'm working slowly but surely. I'm working very consistently, and trying to keep getting content out to you. And if you guys continue to allow me to support me as I rebuild my new delivery, then I'm slow rolling it instead of rushing into anything. I'm slow rolling everything. This article that I'm working on, I did the outline for the article. It looks more like a book. I'm not gonna let it be a book. Good God, that's a lot of shine right there. Hang on. There we go. Gotta get rid of that shine. Done enough research for this article to be a book, but I'm not gonna make it a book. But normally I could write an article. I write an article in 3 hours and I'm done. I don't care how brilliant it is or how not brilliant it is. This one is taking me far longer, but it's gonna come out soon. And we just in this grind, man. I feel like my role in this is, I'm sure you see this because you support me as such. My role in this is to get as much truth, weaponize truth to as many people as possible, so that we aren't caught off guard by these things, and that we can proactively act instead of react, like we're reacting to what's happening in Alabama. Well, what's going to happen across the board nationwide. And so the proactive thing that we can do is start to adjust the minds of American people, particularly leftists, progressives, liberals, anyone who's not looking for the handmaid's tale. Proactively shape our mind to be ready to pack these courts in 2020.